Today we're going to learn how to make a bar graph. So I asked some of my friends what their favorite ice cream flavors were: chocolate, vanilla, or strawberry. Looking at my tally chart, I can count that there are 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people that liked chocolate ice cream. I can see that there are 5, 6, 7 people that like vanilla ice cream. And then I have just 4 people that like strawberry ice cream. So now I want to learn how to put this information into a bar graph. So the first thing I have to do is to draw my bar graph. So that's the very first thing. I'm going to start down here at the bottom of my page. And I'm going to draw what's called the x-axis. It is the horizontal line on your graph. So I want to do that. Oops, delete that. All right. So I put an arrow at one end and an arrow at the other end. So it could go on differently. So now I want to draw my y-axis or my vertical axis. And it's going to start at that same corner where I started my other axis. I'm going to go pretty high with it, although I don't think I need to. Get a straight line. And then at the end of this, I'm also going to put my arrow markers to let the person know that it can go on in that direction as well. So again, this is called the y-axis, and this is called our x-axis. Okay? Where these two lines come together, that always has the value of 0. Okay? So the next thing I need to think about are my flavors of ice cream that I asked people about. So across the bottom of my x-axis, I'm going to write these names. And you do write them sideways because there really is not enough room. So I'm going to write chocolate. And I do like to print. It's a little bit easier to read. Notice I skipped a column between my y-axis line and when I first started writing. I'm going to skip another space, and I want to write the word vanilla. And then I'm going to skip another space and write the word strawberry. I have to write small to fit it all in. I'll go ahead and write strawberry. Okay, so those are the flavors of my ice cream. Okay, so now I'm going to count going up on the lines, not the spaces. We're going to deal with the lines. So if this line is 0, then that next line is 1. And then I'm going to count 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I don't really need to go beyond 10 because I don't have any category that has more than 10. I have to think, what do these numbers actually mean? Well, these numbers happen to be the number of people that I asked. So I have to label this. Oops. So I'm going to label this over here. I'm going to write what these numbers are. These numbers represent the number of people. And I don't need to use capital letters or anything like that because it's not, there's no proper nouns or anything like that. Okay, so these numbers represent the number of people. So now let's think about, I have 9 people that like chocolate ice cream. This is where you can have a little fun with this because I can actually color this in. So I'm going to switch my colors. I think I'm going to use the same color for each. And since I'm doing ice cream, maybe I'll do pink. Okay. So I'm going to change the colors. You could use markers or you could use anything like that. So chocolate was 9. So I'm going to draw. I like to draw up like this, up to the 9 line. And then I'll draw across. That way I'm kind of boxing it in. Makes it a little bit easier for coloring, like that. I think I'm going to try to get a slightly fatter color on this so you guys can see. And the pink. There we go. So now I want to color this in all nice and neat. Right. I'm going to color in all my bars. All the way up to that number 9 line. All right. I'm going to stick with the same color, I think. You could change colors if you really wanted to. So now let's look at vanilla. I said there's 5 because that's my hash mark for my tally marks. And then I had 6, 7. So I'm going to start down here at 0 and I'm going to draw my line all the way up to that 7 and count up to the number 7. Go ahead and box it in. Like I said, I box it in just to make it a little bit easier to color in. So now I can go back and color in my bars. You really do need to do this on graph paper though, because you do need these squares to do this with, by the way. Next, I'm going to do my strawberry, the people that like strawberry ice cream, and only 4 people liked strawberry ice cream. So again, you start at 0, and I'm going to go up to the number 4 line. Again, and across. And then I'll color it in. Okay. So now I have all my bars in. There's one more thing that I'm missing on my bar graph, and that is the title of the graph. So your title is going to go up here at the top. So my title of my graph is ice cream flavors, or you could put favorite ice cream flavors. So just like any other title though, titles do begin with capital letters. And you do underline them. There. And so that's now the title of my bar graph. The other thing you may consider adding, it is not required by any stretch. Sometimes though in a bar graph you may want to label what this is. So I may want to write down here flavors. Flavors of ice cream. It's very small. I'm really squeezing it in. There you go, like that. So let's talk a minute about when you put together your bar graph, the kinds of things that you need to, the parts of the bar graph that you need to have. You should always have a title, which is what that is. You should have your y-axis numbered, and this is the y-axis numbered, right? And Right now we're only numbering it just by counting by ones. You can change it for larger numbers if you need to. You should have that labeled. You need to tell what the label, what it means. Okay, and then this also, your x-axis should also have a label to it. Right? And remember, the corner is always where you start with 0. I hope this is really good information to help you in constructing your own bar graph this week.